So here is why entrepreneurship is not for everyone, right? And this is not a holier than thou video. This is not a you should or shouldn't do this. It's just the reality. So I'll talk about my own experience. I'm 25 years old. Oops. So I'm 25. Okay. Staff, including international contractors of, let's just say, 25. It's probably more than that. 25 people. And across all my ventures in 2024, we did just shy or roundish $500,000. So let's just say 4 to 500K revenue. All right. So that was last year. What happens is at each level of entrepreneurship, there is a bigger sacrifice that has to be made. So I'll give you an example. When you're going from, say, $0 to 5K per month, you got to be shameless. So let's just use this. Shameless. Shameless. It's about being shameless. Cold calling, door knocking, begging, texting friends, getting seen by people that you thought were your friends, texting your network, reaching out to people, asking for referrals, just getting rough with it, getting just becoming a whatever it takes kind of person. A lot of people can't do that. 5K. So I'd say 12K a month. And I'm just talking mainly about consulting adjacent services. So marketing, accounting, things like that, where there's some sort of service that's provided in the form of, deliverables, whether it's through an assembly of a team or a contractor on the back end or your skill. 5 to 12K a month. I think it's sales. So I think you have to get good at sales. Even if you're charging on the higher ticket, even if your average ticket price is 3K a month, to close and keep clients between the 5 to 12K a month range consistently, you got to be good at sales. And I'd say to an extent, but to a lesser extent, customer success. So that's retaining the client, building the relationship with the client, etc. A lot of people, see, I'm stacking the skills for you, okay? And still be shameless, by the way. You still got to be shameless, but I'm just giving it 2 ticks. Let's give it 3. Shameless, sales, customer success. Now, a lot of people will not make it past 12K a month. Being honest. And it's not that they don't want to, it's that, again, 12, and this is my experience and what I've learned working. I was head of sales for a startup. I was making 6 figures a year since I was 22 years old, right? I'm speaking from different experiences. I've had cleaning businesses, I've had nightclubs, I've had events, I've had production companies, I've got equity in other businesses. Like I've done festivals, you name it. I've probably tried a lot of these models, right? 12K to 20K a month. And I was stuck there for a while between 12K to, for me, it was more like 13.5K to 20K a month. I was stuck there for a while, like at 23 years old, right? And why I was stuck there was because it was no longer about being shameless in sales and customer success. It was about hiring well. And it's not that you need a superstar hire at this level, but you need, a good batch of virtual assistants that are really skilled or high IQ or really good at certain things, or I'm going to try and screw you over, or a really good SEO person so you can delegate more and focus on sales more, or an ops manager or an account manager. Hiring. A lot of people's EQ or ego ego is too big and the EQ is too low to sustainably lead, hire, fire, and manage a team. This is where most people get stuck. I'm not going to talk too much about the higher levels today because I just want to talk about the early levels. Because truthfully, the game I'm playing this year, in terms of the MRR range, is between actually I'll include bad months. So let's just say 40K. Yeah, around 40. So this is the game I'm playing to 200K. And now it seems like a big leap. Like, what's the gap between there? But I'm just speaking transparently, right? Because a lot of my situation is about good leaders creating leaders, and then scaling with paid ads. That's this level, in my opinion, largely. But again, we're not going to talk about this today. The mistake that a lot of people make is they cap out here. What I would say, how you can test your endurance psychologically for potentially being a good entrepreneur and making it past the a couple $100,000 a year mark and start looking at half a mil plus, is you need to get really, really good at understanding people. You have to basically become a psychologist. I learned that from Ty Lopez, Patrick Bet-David. You basically have to be good at psychology and understanding people. Otherwise, it's going to be really, really hard to break consistently 20, 25, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70K, 100K a month. That's my observation. This is what I've seen. You got to be shameless. A lot of you aren't even shameless. A lot of you you have your multi six-figure a year corporate job. You think people should come to you. You think your cold calling is beneath you. Your ego is absolutely ridiculous. And that's why you're broke. And that's why you don't want to push the business. Or you're not broke, but your business isn't doing that well because you're not shameless enough. You got to get shameless. After you get shameless, you just get something through the door. You got to learn the art of selling. You got to be able to have a system, a way that you sell, a way that you pitch. After that, you got to learn how to hire good contractors, hire 1 or 2 or 3 employees. You got to be able to share that money around. I think a lot of people cannot do these 3 to 4 things. And that is why entrepreneurship is not for everyone. However, if these 3 things are things that you think you can do and you're willing to do them, okay, and you're willing to do what it takes to get really good at these 3, 4 things, then you'll be surprised how accessible getting to 20, 30K a month is. You'll be very, 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 very surprised because a lot of people aren't willing to even do step number 1 in this game, especially in this era. So that is some food for thought.